Hello everybody, we're on board an aeroplane. We're flying to Sydney, from Sydney to Honolulu, where we'll be spending 4 days, then to Seattle, then to Florida, etc., etc. We're basically on the first leg of our 2023 US trip, which will culminate at Expo West in Arizona, late May. See you there? Whenever I land on the shores of America, I just get this buzz. I love being in America. I love coming to the place. I'm Andrew St Pierre White, explorer, overlander and broadcaster with over 40 years driving 4x4s. Welcome to 4X Overland. I'm a prisoner of this hill. So this then is our adventure in the United States in 2023. It's not about four-wheel driving, although we do climb in a few four-wheel drives and go driving in some remote areas. This is a hard-won campsite. And we also go overlanding in a boat. But it's mostly about Gwyn and me having fun.
Exciting.
With close friends in the US.
Just to die for, doll.
To die for. I mean, it's nice. Gwynny.
Drini.
We're having an American breakfast.
We are. What are you going to have? An English breakfast in an American restaurant?
Probably.
Or are you actually going to do the whole American thing?
And have pudding for breakfast.
And have pudding for breakfast.
Pudding for breakfast sounds amazing.
Andrew and I are with friends, Jeremy, James, and his wife Ange, and we're in Hawaii. And we've stopped at the side of the road because this is where they filmed the Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World and all the Jurassic dinosaur movies. And our kids are absolutely obsessed. So we've stopped to get some images so we can show them that we actually were here.
Hawaii, including the island of Oahu, are all very hilly, which means there are plenty of great locations to get a great view. The island is small. You can get around it inside a day. But the 3 days we've given ourselves, I think, is probably not going to be enough.
This is just amazing. For context, we have to show you our pathos growing at home, and then what they can do in the wild. It's just, I've got to film it and I've got to send it to Stephanie because she and I do this whole gardening thing together, and this is like, my heart is going 1,000,000 to 1.
Think about our time at point two. Everything was so young. Spent our summer howling at the...
Look at the size of this leaf. It's just magnificent. Could use it for an umbrella. Just love it.
On this trip, Gwyn has been given the job of Instagram content.
Instagram, here we go.
Yeah, it's in perfect focus. Hold it there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Eh? See, city in the background. See if I can move it around like this and get the city in the background like this. And I can do a focus pull on you. See, and then focus pull onto the city. Ta-da! Pretty good, eh? How you like that?
There's a surf clothing shop in Honolulu, not far from Honolulu. And up there is a live camera feed from a surfing beach close by. Hawaii boasts the highest concentration of surf shops on the planet. There are, on average, 47 of them per square mile.
Isn't it beautiful? Just to give you a bit of an idea of what Honolulu looks like, it kind of Honolulu and Waikiki Beach and what have you. We're kind of above the city looking down. Gives you just some indication of what it's all about.
Our rental is a Nissan Pathfinder. It's worth a mention. Not a bad looking machine actually from the back. It's actually quite a nice machine from the back. It's got quite a good look about it actually from the back. From the front though this is where things fall apart because it's dismal from the part. And my impression of the car is that you don't sit on the seats, you sit in the seats. The driving position is incredibly low, even though it's a tall SUV. You're driving in the same stance as you would in a saloon car, so it's very, very low. And the ride is abysmal.
And rolling.
Don't be fooled by the Nissan Pathfinder's rear end, which is really quite handsome. From this point, this vehicle is one of the most mundane, dull, uninteresting vehicles that I might have ever driven in the last 10 years. It's supposed to be a luxury SUV. No, the ride is so bad that it can in no way be called a luxury vehicle.
To prove that Andrew has actually been to Hawaii, he's now got to go and take his shoes off and put his feet into the Pacific Ocean. I've already done it. So yeah, it's compulsory. And got to say, this is the first time that my feet, and I think his, have touched the Pacific.
No.
Have you? Not you?
No, when I was in New South Wales.
Ah, right.
When I did my Australia crossing in 2018, I did that in
You went to Byron Bay.
Byron Bay. I was Byron Bay. Yes, it was. Very warm.
And being at the equator, there's no tide. No high tide, low tide. So I mean, this is the beach. This is it. You don't need a run up.
So that's high tide, and that's low tide.
Yeah, pretty much. What do they call this? The north face, or the north beach, or the north, wherever they come to do the surfing. Shows how much I know about it. But anyway, that's where we are in Hawaii.
This is Waimea Bay, one of the most iconic big wave locations in all of Hawaii. And we're on Oahu on the North Shore, and this is Greg Knoll, Jerry Lopez, all the greats have surfed here, and some of the most iconic footage ever in Hawaii.
So that's the biggest wave in the world. That. Right. Thank you for being our guide for the day.
The locals love coming here when it's flat. There's rocks to jump off of, and it's just a beautiful place to swim. But yeah, when the North Swell comes through, it changes everything. And it's world class and known around the world for one of the biggest waves that every surfer has to come check out for. So welcome to my Waimea Bay.
Gwen is, I don't want to use a too strong a word for it, obsessed with chickens. And while I don't really share her fondness for chickens, we do share an appreciation, affection, affinity, attraction, passion, love if you like, for trees.
There's another one. It's one tree.
The plant life, but more especially the trees, are extraordinary. That is called a banyan tree. That is one tree. From several of the lookout points on the island, one can see the naval base of Pearl Harbor. And I've been wanting to go to Pearl Harbor since I was a very, very young lad. But we're doing something this morning that I have been looking forward to do, and I am not exaggerating, since I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. I grew up in England, and I grew up, I'm a baby boomer, which means that a lot of my childhood was spent learning about the Second World War. Because it had just happened not long before my parents decided to get married and have kids. And and I remember that all the TV shows and documentaries about the Second World War,
even today, I'm still fascinated with it, and fascinated with the Japanese conflict. Just finished reading a book about it. And so here, obviously, Pearl Harbor was almost the epicenter, well, certainly the start, of the Japanese conflict in World War II with the United States of America. So I'm going to the Pearl Harbor Museum.
This is Andrew's passion, his #1 passion. If he could have turned this into a career, he would have. And in fact, there was a time when he wanted to go into the Royal Navy, and he would have ended up doing who knows what, and I would never have met him. So here we are instead at the Missouri in Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, and if you could see him, I should actually be filming him filming me, because he is smiling so broadly to be on this incredible battleship.
Had I fulfilled my dream and joined the Royal Navy, I would have gone into it as a helicopter pilot, and given the timing, I would have been active during the Falklands War. And if I think back at the dangers of wartime and what eventually happened, marrying Gwyn, yeah, I think I might have been safer during the Falklands War, actually.
Wicked.
I didn't say anything.
Wicked. Wicked.
We are leaving Hawaii now. We're off to Seattle for a short break, and then we have something very, very special to offer you. What kind of world do we live in? We have to drop your own tailgate.
Like and subscribe if you want to watch the next episode,
Terrifying.
where we have a blast in Florida.